Hello everybody, welcome to the Mystery Steamboat channel. If you're subscribed already, a big thumbs up to you. If you're not, there's a button somewhere that says subscribe, there's a little bell for notification to when I upload a new video. What I'm going to talk about today is probably in the header, it's astronomy, because you may or may not be into astronomy, you may or may not have a telescope, you may or may not have binoculars, but this time of year is the best time to go and see something that you would never normally see, or you might have seen but not even realise you've seen it, because I'm going to read it out here just so I don't get it too wrong. From July the 17th, that's already been and gone, until August the 24th is the Perseids Meteor Shower. Now, meteor showers kind of occur when you get a comet sort of go around the solar system. They go through past the sun. We cross the path of the debris, because as soon as the comet gets close to the sun, the comet breaks up into little blocks of ice and rock and whatnot. So we, as the Earth, because we are spinning around the sun, we pass through that trail, and that particular comet is called the Swift Tuttle comet. So it probably means nothing to you, it doesn't mean much to me, to be honest with you. All I know is that throughout the year there are a number of meteor showers to see, and there's a couple in the sort of December-January time. This is the best one to see for two reasons. One, it's in August, so it's a lot warmer. Even on the British cold nights, it's still warmer, because you go out in, the January ones and it's like, minus whatever, cold. So this one's quite a nice one to see. And B, because of the comet that come through, it can produce lots of meteors. It says here it can produce up to 250, yes, that's 250 meteors an hour. Now the reality is, for that, I think you've got to be in really dark skies. By dark skies doesn't mean to say like you're in a street with one street light. You've really got to be in the middle of nowhere to see that sort of thing. But no matter where you are, you still have the option to see something, and it's quite a cool thing to see. You don't need any equipment whatsoever. All you need is a pair of eyes. That's all you need, and knowing where to look. You don't need a telescope, you don't need binoculars. All you need is a pair of eyes, a seat, a nice comfy seat preferably, because you want to sit in the garden, probably a can of beer or a glass of wine or a cup of tea or a can of Coke, whatever you want, just to be comfortable. If it is a little bit chilly out, then you might want to get a little blanket to cover your legs or something, because it might get a bit chillier than you think, and it's just a case of looking and watching. Now obviously you all got to wait till it gets dark. I'm not quite sure when the dark sets in, probably about 9:30, I guess, in UK time. As to where to look, I'm going to do like a little picture as I'm talking, so it might have already appeared or it's going to appear in a minute. But basically where you're looking for is kind of north to northeast, and what you're looking for in the rough sort of area, there's a constellation called Cassiopeia, which is, and you see from the picture, it's like a little W. Now as the season goes on, it actually flips the other way around and becomes an M, but it's always an M or a W, and I think at the minute it's a W. Look in that sort of area there. Just below it there's another constellation. I'm looking for it, I can't see it off the top of the head now. I'm going to find a better picture than one I've got on there, to be honest with you. But that's basically the radiant point. So the radiant point means that's where they kind of spring from, and it's in the middle there, and then meteors can go all over there, sort of thing. Now you're probably thinking, how do I know it's a meteor and not something else? Well, there's a few guides, to be honest with you. If it's a light and it's flashing, that means it's a plane, because when you look up there, there's more planes than you realise flying across the sky. It could be the International Space Station, but I don't think you would see it that's looking north. That tends to be south. Then it could be north, but again you would see that one. That goes relatively quick, and if you look on any sort of app that's around there for the ISS, it does kind of tell you where it is above the Earth at any given point, because it kind of looks loose as it goes around the Earth. So you think every night it's going to pass over England or pass over America. It doesn't. It's certain points. It sort of does that as it goes around the Earth. And then you kind of, again, will know, when you see the meteor go, you can say that's a meteor. But the other thing is like, okay, there's planes, it's not going to be a plane, it won't be this space station. If you see something glowing and it's kind of getting really sort of getting close and close, then kind of stops and hovers, that's an alien. Run! You get abducted. Run! But so all you're looking for is say north to northeast, looking for a little, and you know because it goes and it goes really really quick. You might get lucky and see something. Obviously, what we're hoping for, fingers crossed, is a clear night. Even if it's moderately cloudy out there, you still might see some. But the best, if it's a clear night, you've got a good chance of seeing some. Because not last year, year before, we was in our back garden watching it, and in the hour spell we see 7 meteors comfortably see them. Probably about 6, 7, 8 years ago is when I first started liking astronomy. It's because in our old house we was in the garden and I was out there with my sister and we see I think a good 3 or 4 meteors, and that sort of sparked me into becoming interested in astronomy. Then I bought a telescope and then I started learning more. I may even do a little series of little astronomy blogs to sort of show you what constellations are up there and where to look for them, because certain ones you're going to see certain times of the year, certain ones you can only see from the northern hemisphere. So if any of my friends are watching this from the southern hemisphere, you have a different set of stars to look at. I've never seen them. You've got the Southern Cross down there. We haven't got the Southern Cross, we've got the North Star, or the Pole Star. So yes, that's all I can say. Just go out there and see, and you might think, wow, there's a star, there's a comet, there's a shooting star, and in the words of Jiminy Crickets, when you see that shooting star, make a wish, because when you wish upon a star, your dreams will come true. If you do see a shooting star at any point, do feel free to comment below to say you've seen one. The other thing I should also say that that's the period of activity, but there's always 2 nights when it peaks, and that's when it's the best time to go out. I'm looking down here because I'm trying to find when the peak night was. Right, there's 2 particular nights that's the night to go out to have a look for it. That's August the 12th and August the 13th. So I'm going to put this up soon, and I'll probably retweet this video nearer that time just to remind you all that's the night to go out as we hope for clear skies, because you know you might see shooting stars at any point in that 2-3 week period, but those 2 nights is your best chance to see a shooting star. So say if you do see one, do comment on this YouTube clip, because it'd be interesting to see who's seen them. If you have seen them, just say where you are in the world as well, because that'd be interesting to see where you've seen it as well.